Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Let me not waste any time and let's get into it. The first thing you want to do is spray some water on your braids to hydrate it, because doing anything to your hair in its dry state is not the best option, because when your hair is dry it will break easily, especially when taking down a protective style. Make sure to get your ends. They are the oldest part of your head and therefore the most fragile, and so will need extra attention and care and a bit more product than the rest of your hair. So I normally use conditioner when I take down my protective style, but I decided to not take down the braids and just redo them, and so I went with an oil instead, because I also skipped wash day, and so I used the next best thing when it comes to maintaining my protective style, and that is an oil. I then apply that oil all over my strands and my scalp and the ends as well. Be sure not to use too much oil because your hair will feel oily, and a little goes a long way. And also, using too much oil, your hair will collect dust and other particles you do not want in your hair, and that will mean you have to wash your hair more often. So for products, I only use two, and one of them is free, so water is the free product. And then for the oil, I use the jojoba and tea tree oil from Kantu. I had gotten it last month or 2 months ago, I can't remember, and have been using it for a while now, and I have to say it is now my new favorite oil. If you have watched any of my other videos, you will see that I use native child castor oil and I love it, but after using the tea tree oil I have to replace it. I still use the castor oil as a hot oil treatment, but once I finish that little oil that's left, that will be my last one, and I will have fully converted to using the jojoba and tea tree oil. So when you're taking your braids down, you want to make sure the most important thing is pick a day when you're not busy, so that you won't rush through the process, because then you won't rip your ends. And so what you want to do is take your time with unraveling the ends. What I've seen other people do is they'll braid their strands, and then when they get to their ends they start twisting them instead of braiding them all the way through. I personally tend to braid the ends as well, depending on how I'm feeling, but for the most part I will braid my ends. I have no problem with taking the time to sit down and be gentle with my hair. But if you're not the patient kind, I would suggest that you twist your ends instead. You can also use a comb during this process, but personally I prefer using my fingers instead. I think fingers are the best detangling tool. The reason why you're seeing so many people being able to retain length with protective styles, even though they're not working for you, is that when we take down the protective style, we are very gentle with our hair, and as I mentioned earlier, we do not touch our hair when it's dry. We have to moisturize it first. So whether that's with water, a leave-in conditioner, a hair butter, an oil, whichever moisturizing product you can find, we use that first, and then we follow with taking down the protective style. And when we do, we are very gentle. Even when people use tools, some people use rat tooth combs, some rat tail combs, some people use any other comb you can think of to brush through their hair. They are very gentle when they do it. They do not rush the process. So next time when you take down your protective style, be very gentle with your hair, and most importantly, moisturize first. Because if you don't, that will lead to a lot of breakage, and that's why some of you are stuck at the same length. And so after I have taken down the braid, I will run my quick length check. I will run my fingers through my hair and just brush through it with my hands. So I do this to remove the shed hair that's been in there for like almost a month. It's been in there for 3 weeks. And I'm also checking if there's any knots in my hair or any tangles. There's very little, because this is one of the reasons why I love mini braids, because when I take them down compared to mini twists, they don't have as many tangles. And so I will run my fingers through my hair to make sure, especially at the roots, because my hair was starting to mat a bit. This is why I can't keep the same hairstyle in for more than a month, because after a month I'm struggling to deal with my hair. And so for me, I have found that the sweet spot is normally 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Anything more than that, I'm asking for trouble. When it comes to redoing the braid, I do not add any extra products because I've already done that in the beginning. My hair is still moisturized, and so you part the hair evenly or as best as you can. I don't do any when I install my mini braids, I don't actually use a comb to part my hair. I just grab whatever I want and then I start braiding. So when you start braiding at the roots, make sure that it's not too tight. Make sure, I know we all like our hair to look really nice when we get braids, but having a style that's too tight is also another reason why you're not seeing any length, or that's why your hair is not as healthy as you want it to be. Because tight hairstyles put a lot of tension on your scalp, and that could cause traction alopecia in the worst case scenario for some people, leading to bald spots. It is not enough to just get a protective style. How you get it done is also very important. And so next time you get somebody to do your hair, ask them to be a bit more gentle with your hair. Make sure you're dealing with someone who actually cares about the health of your hair, not just how the style will look at the end. Although I'm a huge fan of castor oil, I have noticed a big difference since using tea tree oil. And so the most visible one is that tea tree oil and the jojoba oil is a lot more lightweight compared to the castor oil. And so that doesn't weigh my hair down as much as the castor oil does. And also the castor oil is a lot thicker, so applying it, takes a bit of time compared to the tea tree oil. It just glides on my strands, which I thoroughly enjoy applying to my hair, if that makes sense. And I've also noticed, so if you've watched my videos, you know that I typically wash my hair once a week if I have mini braids. And that is because I do use the castor oil once a week on my head. And as I mentioned, it is a lot heavier. And so I wash my hair once a week because of that reason. Since using the tea tree oil, I've noticed that I can skip wash day and my hair is fine. And also the one that I'm using, I will show it on the screen. It's also a scalp treatment, so I can use it on my hair and there's no itchiness or anything. I also didn't experience that with the castor oil. I only experienced it if I skipped wash day, then my head would start itching. But I noticed that when I skip wash days with the tea tree oil, my scalp is fine. And so that's another reason why I've opted for using the tea tree oil from now on. And another thing is, once you start doing your own hair more often and you use certain products, when you switch to a different one, you notice the little things as well. And so again, the castor oil is great, but I've noticed that with the tea tree oil, my hair is even softer when I use it. So my hair is softer, it feels lighter, and also it soothes my scalp as well. I don't have to worry about itchiness when I decide to skip wash day. Please know that you do not have to do your mini braids how I do them. You can actually part your hair properly and be concerned about your appearance. That's fine. There is absolutely no problem with wanting your hair to be parted perfectly and all of that. I just choose not to do it because I'm lazy, and also I'm at home for the most part, so I don't have to be too concerned about how the back of my head looks, or the front either, because I also don't part the front. And when I say I don't part my hair, I mean I don't use a comb to make sure the parting is perfect. I just use my fingers to grab whichever parts I can grab. I will say one of my favorite things about being natural is that I get to try these different protective styles, and I see how my hair reacts to them and how I look with them. So if I want a more fuller look, a look where I can go outside and be around people, I tend to go for mini twists instead, because even when they get frizzy, they start looking like locks. And so people think I have locks, but I actually have mini twists. And then if I'm just concerned about keeping my hands out of my hair, because mini twists require me to redo them quite often, if I don't want to do that for the whole month, I just get in the mini braids. Mini braids, they last longer, they don't get as frizzy quickly, and so I only touch my hair when I have to wash it or re-moisturize my hair. So I thank you for clicking on the video, and I hope I made everything simple and easy for you to follow. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe, and share your mini braids routine down in the comment section as well. I would love to read what you guys do for your hair.